Flosstube, it's Valerie at Stitching in the Barn, and today is Wednesday, October 23rd, I believe. I should call it October what? Because I can't believe it's nearing the end of October, but so it is. We've had some rainy days and some really beautiful days. Today is one of the beautiful ones, so I'm very happy about that. We had some friends visiting from the UK. They came over to see fall foliage, and I think it's a little past it in my area. It's still very pretty. I mean, there are very pretty leaves to be seen, but a lot of them have gone already. We've had some rain and some winds, and that's decimated some of the leaves. But we had a lovely weekend with them and hadn't seen them for years, so that was great fun. And sent them off to New England, so hopefully they're seeing some lovely sights up in upstate New York and Vermont and Massachusetts and places. So hopefully they're getting a real autumnal experience. I know there's a quote, Thackeray's mother apparently came to the US and said, in what they call the fall, the whole country goes to glory. And I love that quote. And I'm hoping they're getting a real show. But we'll see. I think they're going to see beautiful scenery anyway, because we all love New England, but I'm not sure how many leaves are left. They're coming back this weekend, and it's supposed to rain the whole weekend, so that's a little disappointing. But, you know, it's great to catch up with old friends. So here I am catching up with you. Thank you so much to all my subscribers, and I had such lovely comments to read about what you love about autumn. It was really fun, and I agree with every one of them. I love all the things that you love and more. I mean, it's just a glorious season. And I did the random comment picker. I always say generator, but I think it calls itself the comment picker anyway. I did that, and I will insert a link here. Okay, I've got the random comment picker up and running. I'm gonna plop in my YouTube video. Let's get the comments. Sorry about the glare. You can see the window, the sun is shining today. All right, I had 213 comments. And we're gonna pick a winner. Diane Stitching Posies. It says, sounds like you had a lovely time at Keepsakes, some beautiful stitching. That silk cranberry looks divine. I'm also an avid gardener, so there are many fall perennials I enjoy in the autumn. We live in a tree-lined street that form a canopy over the street. Our house is originally 1913 and lots of squirrels. Look forward to your next video. What a lovely comment. Well, Diane Stitching Posies, you are the winner, so you will be stitching some squirrels. Hooray! So congratulations to Diane Stitching Posies, who left a lovely comment. She is the winner of the pattern, which is Brenda Gervais Autumn's Bouquet. So if you could send me your address, and I will get this out in the mail as quickly as possible. On the link below, I will put my email address and a physical address, and you can contact me. You know, you can personal message me through Instagram, or you can send me an email and give me your address, and I'd be happy to get that in the mail to you. And congratulations. So that's fun. What have I been working on? Oh, first I want to tell you about some stitchy kindness. Deb is a woman who won a Spring Smalls pattern from me, and wrote me the cutest note. I just love it. And, you know, thanking me for giving her the prize, which is really unnecessary, but so kind. But she also included some fabric in there, which I thought was so nice. And I will be delighted to use that, Deb. Thank you so much. It's a beautiful color, and I can't wait to find the perfect thing to stitch on it. So that was very, very sweet and totally unnecessary, but I loved it. So thank you. I had questions about a couple things. The Dying to Stitch clubs with the Paulette Stewart designs and other designs. I think they will reopen the wait list for those in January, but they're very kind and very accommodating, and you can just call the Dying to Stitch store in Virginia Beach, Virginia, and I'm sure they'd give you all the details and tell you how to get on the wait list or when it opens or something. I know that for this year it's full, but they will get, I was on a wait list for last year and got in, so I think you will have a chance if you would like to be in that club. The other one was about the Lady Dot Finishes Club through Crazy Annie's Stitching. And I'm not sure when she's opening that up again, but again, I think, you know, you could email her if you go to her Facebook page, Crazy Annie Stitching. You probably can send her a message or look up her website and send her an email and ask about that club and when and how to get on the wait list for that club. So it's a club that sends out Lady Dot ribbon and trim, pom-poms and chenille and things like that, and some fabrics for finishing. So I found that really helpful to build up a little stash so that now I'm ready to start doing some of my finishing myself. I'll try. I have done one pillow. That's the history of my finishing. But I hope to do more. So we'll see how that goes. What else? Somebody said, could I demonstrate pin stitch again? And I will do that. I'm trying to figure out how to film that. I can show you again on paper very quickly. I think it's better to show you on a piece of linen, but on paper, let's see if I can do this again. Normally, if you're doing 2 over 2, you would go from here, oh, you can't see it. You'd go from here to here, and then you go from here to here. Well, when you want to start a stitch, instead of having to start it here and leave a thread and then try and go over the tail as you're stitching, you come up right through the center and you go down in this hole. And then you come around and come up in this hole. Oh, I'm not even showing you. Instead of going from here to here and then here to here, you would start in the center. You'd come up through the center, you go down in this hole, you come back around and come up here and go back down through the center. So up through here, down through here, round the back, up through here and down through the center again, all to make this first leg of the stitch. And then you just cross it as normal. And that is a very, very, very secure way to anchor your stitches. And you don't need to leave much of a tail at all. You can leave a tiny little tail and they're very secure. And if you have like a floating stitch, just like one little snowflake out in the middle of nowhere, you just do it with this and you don't have to worry about not having other stitches to tuck it under or whatever. So I hope that was clear. Come up to the center, down through this side, around, up through here, and back down in the center again, all to form that first leg. And then you just cross it as normal. I hope that helps. I hope that wasn't just appalling and confusing. So, and somebody asked me, I was talking about the long stitch that I could have chosen to do for my Holiday Inn Brenda Gervais pattern. I wanted the roof to look more thatched. So what I did was I just did regular 2 over 2 cross stitches and didn't like the way it looked by itself. So then I could have done a long stitch, which is where you would come from 2 over, you'd go up here and then cross 2 over like that, like an extra, like that. Words, because words are hard. Instead of crossing from here to here and here to here, you take an extra stitch out, but leave the top the same length. I thought about doing that. I did not do that. What I did was I just did 4 over 4. So underneath I've got my 2 over 2 stitches. And then on top of that, I did a 4 over 4 stitch. just to give it extra texture, and it seemed to work. And it did look pretty much like a thatched roof to me, because the shingles kind of go, the wooden shingles come, they're a little bit narrower at the top. I don't know, it looked right to me. It looked like shingled roof. So that's the fun of just messing around and seeing what you come up with. I should do that more. I'm too slavish a rule follower. Ha ha ha. That's a joke for anybody who knows me, because I'm not. But sometimes I think where creativity is concerned, like if I have a pattern, I'm following it too carefully, and it's nice. It's a freeing feeling to be able to mess with the colors a little to please yourself, or tweak things a little bit sometimes when you want to. I haven't been neglecting to show you my Crazy Annie Ornament Club releases, because I haven't been doing them. I haven't been working on them for probably since about Stitch Mania. But the last two that I received were pretty cute, and I thought I should show them to you. Here's number 9. It's Wreath. This is also a 1-a-month club through Crazy Annie Stitching. So this was number 9, Wreath, the 2019 Country Christmas Ornament Club. Now, she's not repeating the exact club next year. She's doing a tag ornament or something club, which also looked cute. So you could sign up for that. I think you can still sign up for that. And number 10 was Santa, and he was cute. And look at the little peppermint buttons. I love those. And these buttons are little bells. Very cute. That echoed the bell in the center of the wreath. So those are fun. If you're interested in the club for next year, as I said, contact Crazy Annie. What have I been working on? Let's see. I have been working on All Bundled Up. Really trying to get him finished for you. The big old head. And I nearly have got him finished. I haven't ironed him. Sorry. Here he is. All I have left is to finish off part of the cardinal's tail. This is what I'm working on now. And then I think I have a couple snowflakes to put in this area. And it's funny because when I was working on this, I was thinking I didn't really like how this part of the vine went way out. And I was thinking, oh, that looks kind of disjointed, and what's going to anchor it there. But what's coming along is, by adding the cardinal's tail and some snowflakes in here, it does kind of all work together, I think. So there he is, nearly done. I really enjoyed stitching this. It was a lot of fun. Brenda Gervais again, all bundled up. I'll show you the pattern. I think I have it here. This one. You've all seen this before. You can see what I'm talking about. Like, I kind of thought this was weird how it went out, but when you're really looking at it, there's snowflakes and the cardinal tail that does anchor it kind of all, and there's snowflakes in here too. And I think they actually show up better on my linen than they do in this. Mine was 36 count winter brew. I'm not sure if that's what was called for. Let me see. Yeah, that's what's called for, but in the photograph, there's just appears lighter. I don't know why. You can see. Mine looks much more coffee tea dyed than theirs. But I love it. I'm very pleased with that. I hardly worked on the antique locks and keys. I did a tiny bit. Shakespeare's Peddler. This is supposed to be my stitch along. Where is it? It's over here somewhere. Oh, I did a little bit, I guess. You could see, almost see the keys, K-E-Y-S. So I did the Y and the S and a couple keys. That was fun. It's a fun stitch. I should get back to it. But, with company here and everything, I have not been doing a lot of stitching. I worked a tiny bit on my Farm of Hawk Run Hollow. Hollow, hollow, hollow. Not much progress, but a little bit. Grammy Jean now has some, oops, I should have something behind this. Grammy Jean now has some flowers at her feet starting. What else did I do to her? That's about it. Oh, she's got the border done around her. And one apple tree started. One in a tiny bit. So the flowers have to go along the bottom. She has to have some things in her hands. She's holding like a jar of applesauce and something else. And more apple trees around. And then I think I'm going to put this away until it's back to the right month. Because I figured this was January, this was February, this was March, this was April, and then the next one was going to be a big scene, so it was like May and June or something. So I think I might wait till May to work on this. I don't know why I say that, I'm just not in the mood, I guess. I hate to admit that, but it happens. You don't want it to feel like a duty. You know, you want to be excited about it. And really what I want to work in is my Stitch 9 challenge things and see if I can get those done. The other one that is a Stitch 9 challenge that I've been working on is Plum Pudding, Brenda Gervais. And that's going pretty quickly too. I have one mouse pretty well done, another one on the way, and a big plum pudding that needs a plate. And then they need the flower canister that she's standing on, and little plant, and a rolling pin. And this rolling pin, I pulled this out like 3 times. I don't know what my problem was, but it was driving me crazy. And I thought about changing the color on this to be more cherry red than the sort of orangey red, but it really looked like those French linen striped towels to me. So I kept it because I thought, well, that's what it is. It's a kitchen towel, you know, like this. And it seemed like the right color for that, so I left it alone. I thought that was fun. As I said, the other one I really want to work on is part of my Stitch 9 challenge, and it's the Horse Country Holiday. And I think I will end up someday stitching both versions, the original version that was the red and greens kind of, and then the Spring Green Country Sampler Store's primitive version. I sent for the pattern from them, and they sent me the conversion to the primitive style, and I think that's how I'm going to start out. I have the brash fabric to use, and I just have to pull together the threads and get going on that, because it'd be nice to finish that by the end of the year, because then I'm counting that I've done all 9. It's a little bit of a cheat. I explained last time that one of my patterns had 3 options and I did 2 of them, so I'm leaving out the Kaniki's Santa Claus one for now. And Buckeye Stitcher is very cute. She wrote me an encouraging note and said, do not be afraid of that pre-printed fabric. Just launch right in and stitch on it. And I will summon the courage at some point. I haven't done that yet, but I will summon the courage and just launch in at some point. The other thing I've been doing is my punch needle. I watched Teresa Vanette's been doing these great Punch With Me series, as has Kathy Barrick's daughter, Liz. Oh, shoot, what's her name? I'll have to put it below, because I love seeing her videos too. But anyway, it just made me think about my punch needle again, and I realized I had that pattern that was a Brenda Gervais with a needle and thread pattern that I had done a lot of work on and nearly finished. And so I pulled it out, and armed with the help of my new tutorials from Liz and Teresa, I've pretty well finished it. It's this pattern. It's Boo and Jack with thy needle and thread. And here's mine. So I have to go over some things like the vine. I'd like to make the stem a little thicker, and I'm gonna really inspect it. I'm gonna push my hand up and look for places where I can see white through and make sure that I've loaded it up with thread. But I did this with the called for Valdani, and that's really fun to work with because it just rolls off the ball and is very prettily variegated, and so it gets a really nice effect. So I think I'm going to try and do something like what they've done in the picture. Like, I have saved some real pumpkin stems from previous year's Halloweens, and I might try and make this like a 3-dimensional pumpkin, and sit it out somewhere. I'm excited about that. I wanted to show you another punch needle, which I did not do myself, I bought, but I just love it. And it shows you another cute way to finish. It's on this old pie tin. And look at that. Isn't that fun? Doesn't it fit perfectly in that little pie tin? I just think that's the cutest thing. A woman's name who made this is Debbie Marinelli. She's a local puncher. Lives a bit north of me, and I bought it from her. I just think it's darling. I love it. So thank you, Debbie. What should we talk about? I am really excited because Fat Quarter Shop is a online quilting store that I love and have loved for years and years and years and been a customer for years and years and years. And they asked me if I would participate in their Bloomtopia fundraiser this year. So I am very excited. I will be showing you things when we get closer to the deadline. I think I'm allowed to show you this picture of what we're going to be making. It's going to be a stitch along. And the deal is that you make a donation to make the Make-A-Wish Foundation. I think the suggested donation might be $15. And then you get the pattern sent to you. And I think it's one a month. And we all stitch along together and make that lovely. It looks like a colorful sampler to me. And I'm very honored and excited to be participating in this. I think Make-A-Wish Foundation is a fabulous organization. I have some friends who are very heavily involved in this, and I know the good work they do. And so when they asked me, I was absolutely thrilled and said, yes, of course I would love to do this. They have cute accessories to go along with it. You can get this nifty little bag to hold all your patterns in. You can buy floss packs and pins and things. So all that's coming. I know the big fundraiser they do is a big quilt, block of the month quilt sort of thing they do. But they are also doing it for cross stitch this year, which is really fun. And so I hope they have a huge success, and I will be talking about that as the months go on. Now, it's time for Blast from the Stash Past. I went out to the barn, I dug around, and look what I found. Some old Prairie Schoolers. They cost $4. Should give you a hint of their era. First one I want to show you is the Bremerton Musicians. And I loved this folktale. I think I never did this one because it's very, very plain. And I was trying to decide, would I do it just like that in sort of monochromatic tones, or would I change it up and brighten up the animals a little? And I'm not certain. But I looked on this and I discovered the date is 1984. So that is an old pattern, but a goodie, an oldie but a goodie. And along with it, I found, again, $4, again, 1984, County Fair #1, which has a cow and a pig and a rooster and a goat, which are very cute. And I was looking at the little checkerboard at the bottom, trying to decide if that made it very sort of 1980s dated. But I don't think it does, because checkerboard, you know, is universal kitchen stuff. So when I get around to doing these, I'm not sure if I'll do them as charted or if I'll change it up slightly, but I probably will end up just doing it as they are. And what's funny is, I know I bought this pattern in 1984. Well, in 1993, my eldest son was born, and he decorated the back with his artwork. You can see. So I must have been carrying this around in my diaper bag or something, thinking I was going to stitch it, and little monkey fingers got a pen and set to work on it. But I did not set to work on it. I never stitched it. And here's County Fair #2, which goes along with it. Horse, hen, rabbit, and sheep. I'm not sure about the colors, and if it's just that I'm not loving the color linen they stitched it on. I can't really see if that's linen or Ada. Yeah, I might be tempted to fiddle with those colors. But again, 1984. So that was kind of fun to see. And then I have some haul. I don't know why I said it like that. Haul, I should go, ooh, haul. This I've been wanting a long time to go with my other ones. The, I forget what they're called. But there's a whole series. Anyway, this is Scarlet House on Stoneware Street. And Shepherd Sampler, Brenda Gervais. Waxing Moon Designs Christmas Tree Trio. I love these because they look like little feather trees. I thought that was really cute. This one I've hankered after for a long time. Colonial Dry Goods. I saw Pam do this, Just Keep Stitching, Pam and Steph, and I was like, yes. Must do that someday. I think Farm Girl did it as well. This is a new one I just love. This is Primitive Merry Christmas Pillow by Abby Rose Designs. One of my Instagram friends has done this one and it looks terrific. Love that. This is a new one from Lila's Studio. She has an older version of this with the needle 1, which has a slightly different configuration, has a different border, it's different. I think the scenes are slightly bigger, but it has less decorative things, and it's just interesting. I really like this. I love Lila Studios things. Can never resist Kathy Barrick. Here's Miniature Quaker Sampler. Thinking ahead, because I know when Valentine's Day rolls around, I'll start thinking I want to stitch something, and I won't be able to find it. So I got Threadwork Primitives, Endless Hearts. And this, I blame Brenda Sampler Stitcher and her serial starter friend Laura, because they were showing this, and I'm like, oh yes, I gotta do that one. When Witches Go Riding, Prairie Schooler. And then the final one to round out my Kathy Barrick obsession du jour is Crow number 5. Goes along with my Eurofractor, which I haven't been doing. And I'm sure you've all seen some of the new patterns coming out. Paulette Stewart has some gorgeous things. Teresa Kogut has amazing things. Can't wait. Brenda Gervais, the prolific Brenda Gervais. I want every one of those new ones. They're fantastic. I was drooling with envy at all the people who were at the Midwest Cross Stitchers retreat, getting to meet her and work with her and see all her new designs in person. But I'll have to hold off on those for a while. But they're on my wish list for sure. And so it's all very exciting. I love when all the new patterns come out. And I told Teresa Kogut I'm putting myself on a slow drip, you know, just a few at a time instead of being all whole hoggy and then not getting to stitch them all. I'm hoping to get more done. So, where does that leave us? Next week's giveaway. I think it's going to be this. Pineberry Lane Fancy Sunflower. Now I know sunflowers is more of a summery thing, but Fancy Blacket to me is a little witch, and it's going to be Halloween next week, so I thought this would be fun. And you can make it, they show it made into a cute little hanging bag, hanging pocket, they said. Oh, that's interesting. The original was stitched over 3 threads on 40 count linen. Wonder how that works. I don't know. Sorry. Nap time or tea time. I don't know how that works. I'll have to open it up and read the instructions. I have another one of these, which is why I'm giving this one away. So if you've stitched that, let me know. In fact, let's make that the question for the pattern. Have you ever stitched over 3 threads? I have not. So answer that question, and then I'll know that you would like to be in the running for Pineberry Lane Fancy Sunflowers Hanging Pocket. Do not say contest, do not say giveaway, do not say winner. Be over 18, be a subscriber, like this video. I'm getting closer to 4,000 subscribers, and when I do, we'll have to do something big and exciting. I haven't decided what yet, but that would be a lovely milestone to hit. So tell your friends, tell your family. What do they say? Vote often, vote early and often. Subscribe early and often. And then when I hit 4,000, I'll do something big. But in the meantime, I'll continue with these little giveaways. So that's it. Say if you've ever stitched over 3 threads, and I will know you would like to win Fancy's Sunflowers. And that's all I have for you. So I hope you've been well. I hope you've had lots of fun stitching time. I hope you're having a lovely autumnal season and pretty trees and lovely weather and friends visiting like we've had. It's really fun. So until next time, I wish you all good things. Bye.